Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking about Frenkie De Jong and Gerard Pique and what their roles could be in the coming Clásico, which will be on Saturday. Then we are going to be talking about some clarifications regarding Erling Haaland's potential transfer to some of these clubs and what these meetings actually meant for the clubs that were being proposed by Mino Raiola. So if you guys are new here, welcome to the channel and let's get to it. So starting with Gerard Pique and Frenkie De Jong. Now the main reason why we are going to be talking about these two players in one topic in today's video is because right now there's a very 50-50 chance on whether Gerard Pique is going to be starting in that match against Real Madrid. And let's stay on this for a second, right? Because right now this is going to be his goal. He wants to start in the Clásico, and at the age of 34 years old, out of all of the players that we do have in our disposal within Barcelona, he is the one player that has the most experience when it does come to El Clásico. And it says here, according to Fernando Polo, sometime during the last week, Pique began to notice pain in his knee and had informed the club's medical staff and particularly Ronald Koeman if he wants to force his recovery and play against Real Madrid, he will have to use infiltrations, which ultimately does mean one thing: Gerard Pique wants to gamble with his fitness. And hearing this is nothing new. Gerard Pique throughout this whole course of this season was gambling with his fitness, because before this he did encounter an injury back on November 2020 and he had the option to not use a surgery or actually use the surgery. Using the surgery meant that he was going to be out for a couple of more months, and without the surgery he would be able to come back, but it would come with a cost, and that is that he might encounter the exact same injury. So he has been gambling regarding his knees, his ankles, anything around his body. It just does not seem like his best interest would be to take care of himself long term. So as of now we do not know what's going to be happening regarding this specific injury, but right now Gerard Pique does want to play in the Clásico, and there is a very 50-50 chance on whether he is going to be featuring or appearing within the squad list. And this is where I do want to bring in Frenkie De Jong, because the one thing that has been so consistent throughout the whole course of this season was Frenkie De Jong playing as a center back under Ronald Koeman. And yes, one may argue that the only reason why Frenkie De Jong has played as a center back in that three-man defensive line is because of Araujo's absence, but it could have gone another way. Ronald Koeman could have chosen Samuel Umtiti, Longley, and Firpo on that three-man defensive line, or maybe he could have used Mingueza as the right center back, Longley as the center back, and Firpo as the left center back, or maybe even Samuel Umtiti as the left center back. It could have gone in so many ways, but Ronald Koeman continues to choose one thing, and that is to use Frenkie De Jong as the center back. And here's the thing: Frenkie De Jong as a center back does play very solid. The way that he carries the ball forward, creating opportunities for FC Barcelona, he understands when to do that. And when it comes to the opposition pressing our defensive line, Frenkie De Jong welcomes that high press. Frenkie De Jong loves it. He loves when he gets pressured and he has to maneuver around all of these complicated situations. That is his strength, and you can get a sense, right? Every time the opposition high presses our defensive line, Barcelona always has that security every time Frenkie De Jong is playing as a center back, because you cannot take the ball away from a player like him, and especially when he has this type of quality. And I also do want to talk about another example that somewhat correlates with the way Ronald Koeman has been using Frenkie De Jong. Klopp, coming from Liverpool in England, was using Henderson as the center back. As we all know, Henderson is actually a central midfielder for Liverpool, but Klopp has been using Henderson, and it is because Van Dijk has experienced a horrible injury, and that left Klopp with no choice, which was to use Henderson within that defensive line. And the main reason why he trusts this central defensive midfielder or central midfielder as a center back, he has explained that the only reason it is because he has the experience, it is because he knows exactly what to tell his players, where to position himself. He has all of those leadership qualities. But when it comes to Frenkie De Jong, right, this is the reason why I wanted to bring it up. When it comes to Frenkie De Jong, it's almost like the complete opposite. Frenkie De Jong, as of now, does not have that leadership quality necessary yet in order to be that leader in that defensive line. And I believe that this is going to be the only downfall Frenkie De Jong does have when it comes to playing as a center back, because it does come with a cost. Every time we have seen, and this happens about 80% of the time, when Frenkie De Jong is placed in a 1v1 situation, that is where I believe the weakness does show. Because when we see Frenkie De Jong trying to defend one player on the ball, sometimes he does seem like he does not know where to stand, what his stance should be, what spaces to defend, and sometimes it really does seem like he does not know where his teammates is at, which ultimately does lead to the other situation where he does not know where to stand and where his stance is going to be. So it's those little details that really do matter, and it really does cost a Barcelona sometimes when Frenkie De Jong is not in his A game in a 1v1 situation. And that is normal, right? When it comes to a central defensive midfielder or interior playing as a center back and you're put in those positions, you are going to be failing in some way, which is absolutely okay. You are going to learn as you go. I do believe that Frenkie De Jong, the more he does play as a center back, he will be learning these type of qualities and he will be capable to know what to tell his players and where to position himself. Because if you know where to tell the players and where to position themselves, you would know exactly where to stand yourself. But as of now, Frenkie De Jong does not have that quality 100%, and that is going to be greatly needed in that match against Real Madrid, because the one thing that Real Madrid is greatly good at is using Benzema and utilizing this player to its 100% maximum capacity. Benzema, when placed in a 1v1 situation, he will kill you. Benzema is a great striker. This is why Benzema for Real Madrid has been playing very, very well, because he solves solutions. And if you were to ask me, would you place Frenkie De Jong in that position where he has to defend Benzema? I would not be 100% confident. So I think that going into that match against Real Madrid, Ronald Koeman should really consider playing Frenkie De Jong as a interior, the position where we do see the best version of Frenkie De Jong. We have seen Frenkie De Jong play as an interior and play very well in the beginning of this year, scoring a goal here, bringing an assist for FC Barcelona. Frenkie De Jong can be very effective as a interior, and he should be playing as a interior against Real Madrid. And if you were to ask me, when it comes to the three-man defensive line, I would place Mingueza as the right center back, Ronald Araujo as the center back, and Longley as the left center back. That would probably be the best solution Ronald Koeman could go for if Ronald Koeman does decide to place Frenkie De Jong as a interior and Gerard Pique is not going to be available. If Pique is available, I do expect to see Araujo as the left center back, Pique as the center back, and Mingueza as the right center back, and then Longley can come in later throughout the game. And now I do want to head towards the next topic of today, and we're going to be talking about Erling Haaland. Now, just to clarify some things, I want to bring this player up in today's video because when we did hear those other details regarding the 20+20 commission deal or proposal that Mino Raiola has proposed to FC Barcelona, there are some things that have been very cleared up over the past few hours, and I do want to thank Fabrizio Romano for always clarifying these things. He's doing a tremendous job in his podcast, and that is the main reason why I am going to be having these details in this video, because all of this is coming from Fabrizio Romano. So thanks to him, I appreciate his hard work. But just to basically summarize what he did say about the whole Haaland transfer and why these meetings did happen, I'm going to be separating this into three different parts. Point number one, I want to talk about the meetings. The main reason why Mino Raiola and the father of Haaland went to go visit FC Barcelona and also Real Madrid in Madrid, it is because they just want to know the projects of these clubs. They also do want to know what these clubs are up to, what are going to be the plans for this coming summer, and analyze if this club greatly does need a striker for the next season. That is basically it. There was no negotiations regarding the transfer fee, what is going to be the commission for this agent or going to be the commission for this father. None of that was negotiated. The only thing Mino Raiola and the father really wanted to know was what's going to be the project of FC Barcelona and Real Madrid moving forward. Does this team greatly need a striker? Yes or no? Do they have the financial capabilities in order to strengthen this squad, in order to improve as a team moving forward? They really just wanted to know what the club statuses were at. That is basically it. And then moving on to point number two, and that is going to be about the rumor of the commissions that we were talking about in the previous video. I do believe that it was about 2 videos ago, many sources and reports were stating that the proposal coming from Mino Raiola was that he wanted 20 million in commission, as the same for the father of Erling Haaland, which was a total of 20 million euros. So in the commission alone, reportedly Mino Raiola was asking for a total of 40 million euros in commission. Fabrizio Romano has stated that there's only half truth in this rumor. Now, what does that mean? It basically meant that the 20 million figure alone, that is fake. He has stated that if you do want to find out the figure or whatever that commission is going to be, a deal is going to have to be made first. If a deal is made, let's just say for example, Erling Haaland moves to FC Barcelona or Real Madrid for a total of 120 million euros, right after that is when we are going to be hearing how much Mino Raiola has taken away from that deal. So yes, is Mino Raiola going to be getting a big commission? He will, but the figure which is 20 million euros for him and the father of Erling Haaland, that is completely fake. And Mino Raiola has also said on Twitter, basically completely scratching off this rumor, that he is demanding a total of 40 million euros between Mino Raiola and the father of Erling Haaland. But at the end of the day, and I want to make this very clear, clear. Mino Raiola will get a very big commission, but we do not know what the figure is going to be yet until the deal is actually made and Erling Haaland has made that full transfer. Going on to point number 3. Fabrizio Romano has also stated that Erling Haaland and the family, they have been widely recognized to take decisions and take their time when doing so. Now, again, what does that mean? So there was a story of Erling Haaland about 3 years ago where he went to go visit Juventus. He was at the stadium, he was at the stands, he was looking at how the players were training, and the whole idea coming from Juventus was that they saw Erling Haaland and they said this: you are either going to be joining the under 23 team for Juventus or you're going to be coming to us on loan. That was basically the whole idea. Once Erling Haaland and the father knew that, they were patient. They were saying that, okay, if this is going to be the idea, if my son, right, Erling Haaland is not going to be considered as a first team player or a starter for Juventus, then we're just not going to be using Erling Haaland at Juventus, because there was just no plans on Juventus greatly utilizing this player. We want this player to grow. And what happened after that? Erling Haaland moved to Salzburg. That was his next big move, which was to Salzburg. And from there, you guys already know, the rest was history. Erling Haaland was bagging in goals every weekend, and then eventually it got to a point where Borussia Dortmund did scout Erling Haaland and move towards that club. And notice how what did happen here, they were baby steps. Erling Haaland did not want to make that big move to Juventus and just say that I'm going to be the next big thing. The father and Haaland knew exactly what they were doing. They wanted to take baby steps to go to Salzburg, then go to Borussia Dortmund, and then eventually make that next big step, which would be to a big team like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Juventus, Manchester City, or United. Any other player, right? And you and me know this story. Any other player that is looking to get into European football would just go straight to Juventus or straight to FC Barcelona, and then only to find out that they're not going to be getting any minutes, not even delivered for this club, or not even get the chance to play on the field in the very first place. So what Haaland and the father have done here was a very strategic move to slowly make your name into the European football world and present yourself in the best way. And the main reason why this story is so important is because we need to understand just how strategic and smart the father of Erling Haaland really is. They are going to be applying that next big strategy when they make that next big move. They're going to be very careful on which club to choose, which ultimately connects to point number 1. This is the reason why they just want to get to know the projects of many of these clubs. What is their idea? What are their plans? Are they going to be signing another striker after Erling Haaland? So for example, if Erling Haaland talks to Bayern Munich, knowing that they do have Lewandowski, and then they go up to a team like Manchester City where they know Aguero is going to be leaving and they're going to be losing one of their best strikers in that club, which move do you believe is going to be making more sense? And this really does give me goosebumps, right? I wish you guys can see like my arms, the hair of my arms are completely standing up right now, because the one team that greatly and desperately needs a striker, and you guys know exactly where I'm going to go with this, the one team that really does need a striker and has shown that they have needed a striker throughout the whole course of this season was FC Barcelona. But in the end, Erling Haaland and the father and Mino Raiola are going to be taking their time, which ultimately does mean that we're not going to be hearing any move, any transfer regarding this player until at least the middle of the summer, or maybe at the end of the summer. They will be taking their time. But that's going to be it for today's Barcelona Daily News. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.